You say hi? Okay, say hi. What? You just belched in my face. Do you know that? Thank you. Lay down. Hi, you guys. My name's Sarah. This is my YouTube channel, Stitching by Sarah. This is a channel about my cross stitch. I want to thank all my returning viewers. I really do appreciate y'all that keep coming back and watching my videos. And if this is your first time watching my videos, I hope you enjoy my content. Decide to come back and watch my other videos and like and subscribe the videos. I hope y'all had a happy Easter if you celebrated. And I guess we'll just go ahead and get into things. My featured FFO is not my FFO. Went to an antique store here in town yesterday that is closing down, and they had everything was 30% off, so I went to see what I could find. And one of the things I found was this cute little bird. Ooh, cute little birdie. Look at that. There's no date, but there is an MD. And it looks like it's a fairly newer stitch because it's got, I don't know if you guys can tell, the modeling in the fabric, and it's got variegated floss. So I'm guessing it's relatively, excuse me, I've had a frog all morning. So I'm thinking it's a relatively newer stitch. But I think it is just so cute. I don't know the pattern name or the designer. So, and if you happen to know this, leave me a comment and let me know what it is so I can give props to the designer. But I thought it was really cute, so I had to get it. All right. I have a start. I have some whips. I have giveaways. Apparently, I don't know what happened to last week's video. Not very many people saw it. And none of the winners from last week's, the week before's giveaway sent me an email with their address. So I will go over all those winners again. And if you are a winner, you need to contact me, send me an email with your physical mailing address. And if your name is not what your YouTube name is, then you need to let me know what your name is. But we'll do that later. And I got just a teeny tiny little bit of haul. So my first start, or my first project is a start. It was an unplanned start. I went to my local LNS yesterday. I was going to stitch with my friend, but stupid Sarah forgot to take some stitching along. So I bought a pattern and fabric, and started while I was there. So this is, oh, sorry, let me get it out of... This is a Little House Needleworks Psalm 145. So that is the pattern. And so far, I only bought 2 flosses, the first 2 on the top, but so far it's the called for. The fabric is 25 count mushroom Lagana. But that's my teeny tiny little start. Okay. And then my actual whips. We'll start with Home is Where the Wreath Is by Stitching with the Housewives. So this is where it was last time. And this is where it's at now. I have H. So I just stitched the outline. And then sometime when I, just mindlessly stitching, I can easily just stitch that in. And then I started the M so that I can do the same thing. I am meeting my stitchy co-worker at the local LNS today. And then I also have a Zoom Zoom call with a stitchy friend this afternoon. So I'll probably work on the H somewhere today while we're chit-chatting. So that is Home is Where the Wreath Is by Stitching with the Housewives. Number 2, or the next one, I thought I'd pull out something different. This is Me and My Stitching by My Big Toe. I'm so upset. My Stella Go light that I've only had since like September or August, it died, and that's usually been my lighting. So I hope the lighting is okay. I'm using the overhead lights. This area of the house is underneath the shade, so it doesn't get a lot unless it's like 3 or later where the sun's coming through the trees over there. So I have my teeny tiny little light, and I hope it's enough. If not, I'm sorry. Anyways, My Big Toe, My Stitching, and Me. So this is where it was last time you saw it. And this is where we're at now. No, I didn't do a lot. I just finished these bottom lines here. It's just a couple hours of stitching. And there's several of different ways to finish this chart. She gives you, so the saying is a cup of tea, which I am a cup of tea person, but she also gives you hours of TV and a nice coffee. And I also thought of putting and a Pepsi, because I'm a Pepsi drinker, you know. So I thought about charting it to say Pepsi. So when we get down there, we'll see what I actually write. All right. And then I brought up my little girl Mirabilia, or Zelda by Mirabilia. This is Zelda. This is where she was last time you saw her. And this is where she's at now. And I am having all sorts of issues with electronical stuff. So my iron is going bad. It did not get very hot. I tried ironing. I guess that's a thing saying don't iron, Sarah. But so I tried ironing, but it's still, they're all still wrinkly. So anyways, here's Zelda now. I'm being a good girl. I'm working on the 1/1 in the neck. Now, if you're new to my channel, the pattern does not call for 1/1. It calls for, you know, the regular 2/2. But I have seen other people do 1/1, so I thought I would try it. And then if you're also really, really new and you don't know what 1/1 is or 2/2, linen has 2 thread, you stitch over either 1 or 2 fibers of the fabric. The aida is always 1/2, or no, get it right, Sarah. It's either 1/1 or 2/1 on aida. But so you can see the face is a little more delicate by doing 1/1. And if you're wondering what all the empty spots are for, that is where beading is going to go. But anyways, back to what I did this week. I stitched more of her 1/1 skin, and I worked more on her dress. And I think I may have gone over here, but I'm not sure. So that's where she's at now. Okay. And then this is my last whip. This is Death by Cross Stitch by Long Dog Samplers. This is where it was last time you saw it. And this is where Death by Cross Stitch is now. So I'm almost done with page 2. So I worked more of here. I did this and I did that. So 2 out of, I think, like 16 pages. Yeah, so you'll be seeing this for a very long time. But I really like it. It's easy to stitch. And I know I say that every time. But, you know, I got to share the love with everything else that I have started and kitted. All right. And so those are all my starts. So I have several whips or works in progress going. So let's go on to, let me do my teeny tiny bit of haul. In addition to the stuff that I bought to start that little pattern, I also got Morning Berries by Little House Needleworks. And this is a Sue Hillis Designs. So much, oops, just a minute. So Sue Hillis Designs, So Much Love. I bought it for that pattern there, but I'm going to change the colors. I don't like the colors. They're reminding me a lot of like the 80s or 90s. So I'm going to change the colors to a more vibrant grass. I'm going to change the house colors. I may keep the original letter color, but there's also those there. That's cute too. I like that one. Oh, and the sewing machine. And then I got my my subscription to Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher. I looked through it and I don't remember seeing anything that really drew my eye. Sometimes you get those issues, but it's nice to have on hand. All right, so told you it's going to be short and sweet like the others. So this is all the winners for the last 2 weeks. So let me do last week's winners. So you had to say either 1, 2, or 3, and what were you doing for Easter? So the first one is the 14 count Chalkboard Black Aida. The winner is Good Enough for Oats. Number 2 is Heartstring Samplery Festive Little Fobs, and the winner is the Full Disclosure Stitcher. And I have your address. I'll go ahead and send that to you, Heather. And the one and only person who wanted Boy Scouts of America, the cross stitch, was Kara Dayhoff. All right, so those were last week's giveaways. The week before that, there were 4 things that I was giving away. The first was the Cross Stitch Journal by It's So Emma. This goes to Deborah Watkins. Number 2 was Lavender and Lace, Lady Claire. So this goes to Teresa MC. Number 3 was Trucking Along April. This goes to Catherine Ryan. And number 4 is Time and Season Sampler by Moira Blackburn. This goes to Karen Saulnier. Sorry, Karen, if I said your name wrong. So there are all the giveaways for the last 2 weeks. So send me an email at stitching.by-sarah. No. You would think I would know my own email address. stitching dot. You know what? It's going right there. And it's also in the drop-down box, the little information box. So send me an email with your mailing address and your name if it is not your YouTube name. Okay, but make sure you put both your YouTube name and your real name so that I know what is going to who. Okay, so that's it. Like I said, it's short and sweet. Got the weekend off. My hubby and I actually have the weekend off together for the first time in, I think, 4 weeks. He's been on call when I was off, and he was off when I was working. So, you know, that's the way it goes. So I'm sure we'll go out and do something. Actually, I know we're going to go out and do something because we had said that we're going to go out and do something. It's just a matter of what we do and all that stuff. So I hope y'all have a good week. I will see you in 1 week. I don't think there's anything going on next week. Okay, bye guys.